Good morning, everybody. I am finally back in town. I came on last night and did a little bit of riding, but had a trip up into the Northeast and then came back down through Tennessee. And anyway, I don't know, about 4,500 miles worth of driving. But it's good to be back home, I'll tell you. But what a great time it was. Met so many people, and today I thought I would write something out of this. I've got a friend, her name's Andrea Waitley, and she's got a devotional booklet that she wrote. It's called Grace to Grieve, and this is just based on Psalm 63:3. Because your steadfast love is better than life, my lips will praise you. But she writes, this is what she wrote, what she writes on that day. Howdy, family, too important, welcome. So I thought I would write this. It says, this is what she has to say. It says, now I'm beginning to understand this. So I always do that. Now I pick a word, I like the first sentence is, now I'm beginning to understand this. So I like to just go, all right, understand. Just kind of, you know what? I don't ever do this, but I'm going to start over. I don't like how I want to put understand a little. I want to start a little further over, like this. So I'll go like that. And let's see here. Now I'm beginning. Now nothing fancy here. Now I'm beginning. I'm kind of jumpy this morning. I can't seem to get myself going. Well, I hope everybody's doing well. Welcome, family, too important. Now I'm beginning to understand this. She says, as much as I love life, as much as I love life and want to live, La Phil. Ryan. Welcome, all of you. As they would say in Kentucky. Welcome, Ewans. Welcome, Ewans. I went over there for a mission trip many moons ago. I kept saying, y'all want to do this? Y'all want to do that? That's what I would say. And they were saying, well, if Ewans want to, that's what they would say back to me. Ewans. It was all y'all and Ewans. Now I'm beginning to understand this. As much as I love life and want, whoops, and want to live. There is something, yeah, this is, there is something better to love. Well, hey, Ryan, and bye. I'm sorry I missed you. I appreciate you. Thank you for stopping in. As much as sorry to go, but I guess I will. Okay, well, come back and see me if you feel like it. I appreciate you stopping by. This is sort of an odd time of the day to jump on. I mean, I know people are working. There is something better to love. Hello, Alice. Welcome. There is something better to love. Why I made that E so far over? Thank you, DPPE. Appreciate you. There is something better to love. To take. To take joy. To take joy. And pleasure. And pleasure in something more worthy of something more worthy of praise. Do it like that. It is the steadfast steadfast love. It is the steadfast love of helicopter. Of the Lord. Take joy and pleasure in something more worthy of praise. It is the steadfast love of the Lord. Life. Is fleeting. Just kind of making it work. Just kind of putting it in there, you know. Or maybe it doesn't work. Life is fleeting and temporary. Life is fleeting and so nice thin marker for temporary. Fleeting and temporary. Life is temporary. Yes. How did you come up with the idea to start writing like this? I really like it. Well, thank you. You know, doing it videos like this, I think. So, you know, that came later, but I really have always kind of done, like, I always was sort of fascinated, like, I've always loved just pens and paper. And when I was a kid, I always sort of liked those cartoony letters, sort of architectural letters, and, you know, the hand lettering. I was sort of drawn to that. And later, so I've just always liked, like, if I worked, actually, my folks had a sporting goods store too when I was a kid. And back then we would draw a lot of the logos, hand draw it, and letter team names and such. And so I did a lot of artwork like that. But this is an odd thing. I remember putting boxes like an inventory in the back with t-shirts and all. And I used to just love to take a marker, you know, and handwrite things. And so it kind of came from that, I think, partially. And then, many years later, when I lived in Nashville, Tennessee, I was living the dream of a singer-songwriter, and part of the dream, I worked third shift at Kinko's. I don't know if you remember Kinko's Copy Center, and they were open 24 hours, you know. And I worked third shift, and I had the whole night to myself. I worked over off of it was the 21st Avenue store. It was right across the street from Vanderbilt. And people would come in, and I would make copies of their papers. But there was some downtime, and I used to like to write. I would do this, like I would write a scripture or a poem or something, and then I used to love writing. I'd write it pretty large, and then I would reduce it down way small, and it looked so cool. I mean, even like this would look pretty neat to reduce it down. So that kind of got me interested. So it was a variety of things. And then back in those days, so this was like around 1991, 92, a lot of people would make demo tapes for, trying to get a song cut. And I had several friends that did it, and they knew I worked there, and they'd come in, and so I would hand letter their, what do you call it, their J card, or anyway, the card that would go in the cassette case, So, there you go. There's a long-winded answer. As far as these videos go, I don't know. I play the guitar, and it's just kind of an outlet for that. And of course, the guitar that you're hearing, I play that, but I use a looping pedal, and so I make guitar loops, and then play them while I'm doing this. So if you've watched some of these, I've done a few where I've played on the top, and where you guys could see me, and then made the loop. And, I haven't perfected it yet, so I'm working on it. Life is fleeting and temporary, but his steadfast love, and I find it really, this is one of my favorite things to do, I find myself, like if I'm in church, I'm doing stuff like this, and people probably think, well, he's not paying any attention. Well, I am, but lock into something that's being said, Okay, so let's see. So I have to read back where I am. So this friend of mine, Andrea Waitley, wrote this, and it's day 10 of her book. She has a devotional called Grace to Grieve, a devotional by Andrea Waitley. She's got some good stuff in here. But so far it says, now I'm beginning to understand this. As much as I love life and want to live, there is something better to love, to take joy and pleasure in, something more worthy of praise. It is the steadfast love of the Lord. Life is fleeting and temporary, but his steadfast love endures endures forever. And then it goes on and it says, I must set my affection. I must set my, ooh, that's kind of funky, the way I must set my affection. I must set my well, that's a compliment. I'm glad that you find it relaxing. Really, I'm kind of drawn to things like that are relaxing and so important in my life. Let's see, endures forever. I must set my affection on those things that will last forever. But I have to tune things out. Otherwise, I am like in focus on something, you know. So the 30 minutes or so that I spend doing this, it's nice to just focus on one thing, you know. I don't know about you, but I try to multitask and I'm horrible at it. I think some people, I don't know, maybe they're kind of wired that way, but I'm not. Okay, so on affection, on those things that will last forever. On those things that will last and I just, you know, I take up a line if I, and then it allows me, like, so the very last word's going to be forever, so I went ahead and made that fill up that whole line, and then I'm going to put forever right there. Yeah. So now I like it that so Miss Andrea Whately, I'm going to put her name on there. This is in her devotional. So there you have it. I appreciate you guys. Reduce that and frame it. Yeah, you know, truly. I don't know what it is. There's something about when you write it large, and then if you've got those good copiers too, they make it dark. It really darkens, you know, so it really looks better than the original. I hate to say, but when you reduce it down, I was just always, I always liked doing that. It was sort of this little thing I used to do. In fact, when I would make those, and I know that a lot of the things that I would do on the copier, the copier sort of is counter to a lot of what gets done these days with all these files. But it was sort of like creative copier art or something. You know, that's what I used to do. And anyway, so I have finished writing there, and if you join in, if you've seen me do this, you know I do the dots. I put dots a lot, and I talked. I suppose I'll say this over and over as I continue, but it's because I remind myself that this thing that I'm doing, you know, it's good to get the final piece of art, or you know, this piece of paper that I've created, this writing on it, but it's the journey of doing it, you know, and I really do this, and I try to go, okay, that's the way I want my life to be, you know, and I know, you know, it's there are things that we just, you can't do it with everything, but try to think about it a little bit. Consider it. Consider the journey. If you're in, you know, as I sit here, and these dots, you know, these, I put them, it kind of gives it a little bit of depth maybe, and then I go back and I put a little bit of color in there, but adding these dots, it's really to kind of, you know, be with you a little bit longer, make the video maybe a bit longer. And when I'm doing this, maybe you're doing it too. I hope that you'll be inspired to write something down. But these dots, it's just, we don't have to put these in here. It's just at this moment, it's all I'm really, other than I'm talking to you, you know, but it's, I have places I need to be today, but I don't want to worry about that. I don't want to worry about it right this minute. Oops, there's a coffee stain. See there? That's from my coffee. So we're just going to kind of go right over that. We're going to pretend like it's part of it. Over the coffee stain. And add the dots. We can put as many or as few as we like. We can stop anytime we want to. But I'm not quite ready. And here we go again. There's another splatter of coffee, and I've just got to go right over it, and it's okay, right? In fact, ooh, let's add. Now, see, now I'm really going to go out on a limb. The problem with doing this live like this, but so we could add some little coffee specks. Let's see. I don't know, that coffee's not quite. Oh, there we go. But it's not ideal to do it live. It's better to have some dry coffee, you know. Okay, Dave, I'm being a little eccentric. It looks great with color. Thank you. Yeah, it's better to, you can't really, you really need to give the coffee kind of time to dry. That's right. That's good. But anyway, they look better after they dry. They're still wet, so like I said. Ooh, look, so that's kind of going into that wet coffee, so it's sort of water soluble, I suppose. Okay. So I will, let's see what I have. I have all these pastel dry chalk pastels. What do we call those? What's the technical term for chalky pastel? That's what I call them. I have sort of this orangey. Now, this is a makeup. What do you call it? It's a mixing egg. A mixer? Is it a makeup mixer? Well, I apply the pastel with my mixer egg, of which you can pick up at any of most of the little dollar stores. You can find them, or I guess you could go online. A makeup sponge, yes, indeed. When I put it on there, I look like I'm being so careful. Oops, look like I'm being so careful. Oh, so carefully applying it. But the thing is it's very, very forgiving. You can't really mess it up. You just put it on there, just like that. Just, gives it just sort of a little depth or something to that effect. Oh, I gotta get another sip of coffee. Let's see here. I didn't make any coffee this morning. I had to run some errands, and so I stopped at the local place and had a cup to go. So grateful for all of you, all of you'ns. My friends who may or may not be on, I don't know. I appreciate all of you, each and every one of you. Alice, Ryan, Lafide, family too important. I'm bad with Miss Andrea for the devotional. I'll read it one more time before I sign off today. It says, "Now I'm beginning to understand this. As much as I love life and want to live life, as much as I love life and want to live, there is something better to love, to take joy and pleasure in something more worthy of praise. It is the steadfast love of the Lord. Life is fleeting and temporary on this earth. It is. It's, well, we cling to it. But the Lord's steadfast love, His steadfast love endures forever. I must set my affection on those things that will last forever." All right, my friends, I would be happy to sit here and do another one, but you know how it goes, how life is. We've got, whoops, places that we have to be and things to do. So I will sign off, and I don't know, maybe I'll be on late tonight. I'd have to go down to Waco. It should be a fun day down there, but I'll be back late. You guys have a wonderful Tuesday, and I'll catch you on the other side. Thank you so much for tuning in.